In astrology, Mars is the planet of action, energy, and aggression. It represents how we assert ourselves, our physical energy, and our drive to achieve our goals. On the other hand, Ketu is one of the lunar nodes, also known as the South Node. Ketu represents past life karma, spiritual growth, and detachment from material desires. These energies are fundamentally opposing as one takes you towards something and the other separates you from it. Mars has energy which is synonymous to the head or general of an army who leads the troops. It has an ownership over the sign of Aries, which denotes the head in a human according to medical astrology. Now, on the other hand, Ketu is the severed lowered part of a body. Hence, it is considered headless, which causes it to lose direction or be aimless. This is why it is a moksha karaka, or basically the entity which makes it easier to detach from material or social practicalities and immerse oneself within detachment through exploration of spirituality. Even the sign it rules is Scorpio, which is basically synonymous to a mysterious, occult, and esoteric energy. With analyzing these significations, we understand that this conjunction creates an energy wherein the passion or aggression to achieve a means of peace or settlement goes awry, since the direction to navigate the energy in goes missing or strikes in an unlikely manner. As we see with the recent incidents of terrorist attacks on Israel, clearly signifies this turbulent energy. Within this conjunction, moreover, Mars holds an upper hand over Ketu, since it takes place within Chitra Nakshatra, which is ruled by Mars itself. Also, this conjunction takes place within the sign of Libra, whose symbol itself is of equalizing scales, and hence this is the kind of energy wherein we will be asked to strike a balance between passion and indifference. It is basically a tug of war between which means will one resort to in order to make the best with the tools provided to you at this time. Would you choose to chase your passion or exercise a degree of caution and separation? But there is another layer of nuance added, as Rahu is currently on its last leg through the sign of Aries, which is ruled by Mars. So in a way, through the means of being a dispositor, Mars is also influenced by the energy of Rahu. This has a completely different impact, as Rahu puts the steam behind the aggression of Mars. So in a way, we can see how Rahu and Ketu currently are influencing Mars's energy. And this, in a way, symbolizes the meeting of the head and the lower body to formulate a regeneration within your goals and passion. This is a unique opportunity to do an unbiased analysis of your own shortcomings so that you can work towards gaining the best from the circumstances and chances provided to you to become the pearl you aspire to, as expressed by the significations of Chitra Nakshatra. Aries, for you, this transit is going to be quite monumental because your planetary lord, which is Mars, is getting conjunct with Ketu, and this is happening within your 7th house. So this gives us a clear indication of the fact that there is this sort of push and pull energy which is happening within your relationships when it comes to your romantic relationships as well as your business partnerships. So there can be an extent of this sort of transformational energy which comes in within your relationships, wherein you have this sort of dichotomy within, would you like to focus more so on preserving or being able to secure the connection that you have, or to be able to detach from that sort of attachment within your relationship and forge on to being more individually involved. So what you need to be able to decide with this planetary energy is how you would like to put a balance between the kind of energy that you're giving out within your romantic relationships and your business partnerships, as well as what kind of energy are you able to retain within yourself, or what you're able to receive from those partners as a way to, sustain and keep those equations in balance. For you, Taurus, this energy is going to impact you when it comes to your relationships in the form of your work relations, because it is impacting your sixth house. So basically produce an energy of a push and pull, wherein you will have to understand and analyze who is working within your best interest right now, because there can be a sort of energy wherein it can turn quite hostile when it comes to your career prospects and things like that, because the environment that you're projecting into right now is not as beneficial. So there is this sort of energy wherein it can turn combative. So what you have to decide is, would you like to channelize and dip into that combative energy, or would you rather choose to supersede the competition and just somehow dial back altogether within this sort of tussle which is happening in your professional prospects and within your environment? So that is going to be the major focus for you during this time period, wherein you have to be able to balance your energies as to how much you're able to compete and try to figure out the best way possible to acquire your best work prospects, or would you rather be able to dial back and retreat your energy within that sphere and rather be able to channelize it through being able to figure out possibly another way for yourself? And that can even healing to a certain extent within your issues when it comes to work. For you, Geminis, you are going to be experiencing this transit happen within your fifth house. So this definitely goes to show that there is this energy of push and pull between your need of individuality and your need of basically love and romance within your partnerships. And this is because it is going to be impacting your romantic relationships in a way that you are going to be tussling between or trying to balance out your need of having a self-assured identity, a sort of individuality within your relationships, or on the other hand, being able to be so giving and self-sacrificial that you work towards the benefit of your romance and your partnership. So you have to kind of figure out how to make the best case possible happen, wherein you are able to balance out that energy within. Would you rather pour your focus into figuring out what are your best interests, or what are the creative pursuits that you can be following in order to create that sense of individuality and strengthen that? Or would you like to be able to focus on preserving that sort of romance, that sort of fun, that sort of excitement within your romantic connections, and be able to revive intimacy or just connection when it comes to the kind of dynamic that you currently possess within your romantic relationships? Cancers, for you, this energy is going to manifest through your fourth house. So this definitely goes to show that you are going to have a sort of push and pull between this idea of being able to be self-reliant when it comes to having peace and comfort, or being able to basically be dependent upon your familial connections to give you that source of peace, or to be able to give you that source of emotional support, because this is a sphere wherein you can feel challenging energies when it comes to being able to harmonize your relationships within your familial structure. And this can cause that sort of dichotomous thought wherein you will have to either choose within pouring in your energy into making sure that your familial equations are all working fine and you're able to balance out everyone's best interest. Or on the other hand, you go into take a step back from trying to be the equalizer in all situations, and you will have to come to terms with the fact that your prospect or your part in leading to that sort of dissolution of conflict is not as crucial as your own benefit or your own peace is tantamount to your own efforts. So basically, you will have to strike a balance between your ability to tend to your family and their conflicts, or rather focus on your own benefits and your own self-interest to create sense of comfort and security within your own self. For you, Leos, this transit will be taking place through your third house. And this goes to show that you are going to be in a push and pull sort of energy within the two prospects of, do you want to be able to focus your communicational prowess or your efforts into building more connections with people, to be able to work with people in a way wherein your communicational channels are being pushed into creating a better community or being able to create better resources for yourself, and all your hard work gets pushed into that? Or would you rather exercise a degree of separation from that sort of overarching need to keep working hard, keep producing results? The tussle that you will have to be able to navigate right now, because you are in a space wherein these kind of energies can be combative with each other. So you have to choose how you are going to be able to use your communicational channels and how you are going to be able to use your hard work. And would you like to keep pushing the barrier within that context, or would you like to take a step back, analyze your own situations, and then forge into what kind of efforts you would like to take and how you would be able to basically pinpoint those efforts into the right sort of strategy to be able to create the best results possible for you? But the point of contention is, do you keep your foot on the gas pedal, or do you try to just pull it off for a little while to be able to analyze which direction you're going into at this point? Virgos, for you, this energy is going to be manifesting into your second house. So this is definitely going to be a time period wherein you are going to kind of tussle or have a sort of dichotomy within the kind of values that you have, especially with pertaining to your relationship with money. So you are going to be having this sort of push and pull within the sort of structure wherein, are you going to be following your familial structure of how they basically look at money, how they basically are able to channelize their finances, their money? Or would you rather try to formulate your own sort of structures or your own sort of values about money and follow them? And would that sort of conflict between those two areas or those two directions be able to basically generate some sort of security within yourself? So rather than just chasing a sense of familiarity within your financial decisions, but within your investments, how do you basically create a newer sense of identity within your monetary principles? And would you rather just still keep following blindly the advice of your family within your monetary structures or how you invest, or would you rather branch into a newer set of belief systems and values which might not be as secure but still kind of have a more individual touch to your own perception and reality? For you, Libras, this transit is going to take place within your first house. And this is going to be a monumental time for you to be able to really decipher how your efforts are really being pulled into and what sphere are you really catering to right now, because this is going to be happening within your first house. So this is going to impact a lot of crucial things like your health, your purpose, your identity, your personality, and a lot of things which are related to major life events, right? So you are in this time frame going to be dealing with a sort of dichotomous conflict wherein you will have to come to terms with the fact that are you able to formulate relations in a way that is beneficial to you? Or are you just tending to creating the sort of codependent dynamics within your relationships which are not serving your own best interests? So, are you able to formulate such sort of equations wherein you can still have that sense of individuality within your relationships and not jeopardize the whole equation or balance of that relationship by just expressing your individuality in a way which is beneficial to you or which makes you feel more like yourself? So those kind of dynamics are going to be present to you wherein you have to make crucial decisions regarding how are you going to be going forth after this transit into possibly equalizing or balancing the kind of efforts you put into your own best interests and into the well-being of others within your relationships, be it romantic or just general business partnerships as well. Scorpios, for you, this is going to be a time period wherein you are going to experience the energies of this transit within your 12th house. And for you, this is going to be quite a monumental transit. Your planetary lord Mars. So it impacts you on a greater degree than any other transit would. And because it is conjunct with Ketu, this definitely goes to show the fact that you are going to be struggling with a sort of sense of dichotomy within your need to hold on to certain things or let go of certain paths. So be it your ability to be able to be, a shape shifting sort of fluid identity, or would you like to maintain that sense of distinct isolation or solitude within your relationships? So this is going to be the crux of the kind of conflict that you might chance upon during this time period, wherein you have to be able to decide wherein are you going to be holding on to a sense of ego and a sense of individuality in a way which is not going to be beneficial to your relationships or you in general? Or are you going to exercise that sense of being able to let go of certain parts of yourself, certain parts of even your relationships that you're currently in a way that brings you more peace, that brings you more freedom? And it basically has to be able to help you to feel not alone even when you are with the people you love. So that sort of energy needs to be channelized wherein you have to be able to decide who is right now helping you in cultivating that sort of peace and that sort of gratitude within whatever is happening in your life right now, or what kind of relationships are basically taking away from that sense of zen and pushing you into a zone of being isolated or being lonely. Sagittarius, for you, this transit is going to be taking place through your 11th house. And this is going to basically churn into a sort of dichotomous energy wherein you will have to decide what kind of relationships do you foster in your life and how do they ultimately lead you to basically depend on certain people for your maximum gains or benefits. So how this is going to basically manifest within two ways is either you are able to create a sense of belonging within your community in a way that does not take away from your own sense of individuality, that does not have such a all encompassing sort of influence on you that you are devoid of being able to project or to be able to promote your own sense of individual decision making. And on the other way, you have to decide, are you otherwise going to be able to just follow through where the herd is going and take road more traveled basically, and just follow into this sense of whatever other people are doing, let us also follow that, and kind of keep following that influence or that sort of narrative without critically analyzing what sort of interests are basically being generated in your best possible ways wherein you can gain the most out of whatever investments or whatever efforts that you're putting in right now. So that sort of decision needs to be made wherein are you able to exercise your sense of individuality within these kind of relationships, which is basically more so related to your network circles and friendships? Or are you basically just following through without any sense of individuality or a sense of having critical thought processes when it comes to whatever influences are being pushed onto you at this point, especially with regards to your monetary gains and investment strategies? For you, Capricorns, this energy is going to be taking place within your 10th house. So this definitely shows that there is going to be this dichotomous conflicting energy within two spheres of your career, wherein you are going to have to come to terms with and choose basically what kind of path are you really going to be following when it comes to expressing your efforts into your career prospects and the potential that you are currently chasing at this point. So are you going to be putting in your efforts and doubling down on creating a sort of sense of equalizing balance bit within your relationships with your superior? How you basically cultivate that sort of goodwill into maneuvering a better sense of career path or prospect? Or would you rather choose the path of being able to let go and not be forcing yourself to be as people pleasing or to be as catered on to what your superiors have to say, and possibly even be able to forge a newer path for yourself when it comes to your career prospects if you do not see the kind of results or the kind of prospects that you would like to in your current place of work, or the kind of options or opportunities that you're being given. So what you have to decide is, are you going to go with the flow of whatever the current state of effect or affairs is at your workplace and just be able to make peace with that sort of environment? Or would you like to work towards being able to forge a better reality for yourself by detaching yourself from some sort of people pleasing behaviors and rather focusing your energy into being able to figure out a better means for yourself professionally? Aquarius, for you, this energy is going to be cultivating within your ninth house. And this goes to show that there is going to be this sort of dichotomous energy deciding within a sort of conflicting energy, the kind of dilemmas that you could be facing right now. Are you going to go down the path assured sort of answer when it comes to something educationally pushed into, or some sort of very channelized pathway which is basically culled out or chiseled for you? Or would you rather get your answers from a sort of esoteric sense wherein you basically follow through with your intuition when it comes to your religious, spiritual, and philosophical belief systems? So there are a lot of inherent questions that are coming about which basically need to be answered in a way so that your moral values and the kind of challenges that you're facing with regards to your belief systems and other things can basically be equalized or basically come to tandem with the fact that you rather be able to pursue that answer through a sense of scientific or a very set basic educational attain from some sort of qualification? Or would you rather choose to pursue some sort of knowledge within the structure of a more less certain or less basically predictable sense of figuring out an answer through the means of your esoteric channels of your religion, spiritual and philosophical ideals and thought processes? For you, Pisces, this transit will be taking place through your 8th house. And this is going to be basically manifesting into a sort of mysterious, occult energy wherein you are going to deal with how you want to be able to gain, especially when it comes to gaining from the resources of other people, to be able to extract that sort of value for yourself from other people's efforts. So that sort of realm is going to be activated wherein you have to choose within the fact that would you rather not at all depend on these sort of concepts and be able to cull out a completely different sphere for yourself, wherein your own self efforts and your own values and your own concepts are basically going to be helping you in whatever esoteric mystical ways possible? Or would you rather focus on being able to depend more so on the fact that you could have certain contacts or certain people whom you can basically depend on the resources of to gain your own profits from personally? So this can look as anything when it comes to probably any help that you can receive, even in terms of your familial structures, when it comes to your financial issues or your financial woes. So that sort of realm will be created wherein you have to come to terms with, also when it comes to your romantic relationships, wherein are you either going to be focusing more so on the hidden aspect of it, or would you rather be okay with having that sort of sense of visibility within your challenges when it comes to your relationships or even your finances? So that kind of dichotomy is going to present itself, wherein your whole aspect of how to deal with that realm of um, hiding your vulnerability, or to be able to express your genuine sort of emotions, to be able to connect and gain from that sort of interaction, can be something that you will have to combat with or deal with the dichotomy in that sort of decision within these two structures. So, all in all, these are the kind of energies that all the zodiac signs will be going through during this time period, with the Mars and Ketu's conjunction within the sign of Libra. If you liked the video and you resonated with the predictions, then please do not forget to subscribe to the channel, and also stay tuned for all the upcoming videos which will be released on the channel. I will see you soon with the next video. Until then, take care, you all.